Hey, what's going on, guys? John Shea here with the No Shame Income vlog, and today I'm actually going to be kind of giving you guys a review of my entire year in 2019 as an entrepreneur. So I thought this would be kind of a cool video. I wanted to do something where I really kind of showcase some of the wins, some of the bad things that happened, the failures, and the successes all really in one video, kind of leading back to this blog post here that I wrote last month. So for those of you who are brand new here on the channel, if you like this kind of content, be sure to throw me a thumbs up on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave me a comment below in the video. Let's dive into today's topic, and I'm going to share with you guys some strategies and things that I've been doing over the last year, what's worked and what hasn't. All right, so we're over on my desktop, and basically what I ended up doing here in the last couple of weeks, I wrote a blog post called 2019 Year in Review, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So I kind of wanted to pull out some of the things that I talked about here in this blog post and just share them here with you guys on my YouTube channel. I thought this would be something cool to kind of do a video with. And I'm sure as many of you know, I'm fairly transparent when it comes to a lot of this stuff, whether or not it's business, my personal life. I'm just very brutally honest when it comes to anything that I share. So let's talk about some of the things that went really well for me in 2019. One of the first things was going out there and actually marketing my online courses. I actually started to spend a lot of time building out one of my email sequences. I had this course that I was selling through like a 3-week email sequence, and throughout 2017 and 2018, I was actually breaking even on that funnel, which means that I was putting $1 into Facebook ads, and generally I was making back about $1 to $1.50 on the revenue that I was earning from my course. So a light bulb kind of went off in my head, and I said, you know what if I took that thing that was making me break even money and I built out even more products and services that I could sell on the back end of that? What if I could not only turn it into a 3-week series, but maybe like a 100-day series or a 90-day series? So I took some of the best affiliate products and my own products that I could think of, and I turned this all into a sequence where I would be promoting different courses, programs, software, all automatically over a 100-day email sequence. So this is something that I'm still testing, but the general idea was that, let's say I spent $5 to acquire a lead on Facebook, I could actually get more subscribers on my list and in theory break even on that money by making course sales, and then in the future be able to continue selling products and services to that audience that I'm basically building for free. Now, as of creating this video, I've been running Facebook ads all through January, roughly spending about $100 a day, which is actually quite a bit of money. Even to me, I feel like that's just a lot of money to be spending on ads. Throughout a full month, if you literally spend $100 a day, you're essentially spending $3,000 in a month. I don't even pay $1,000 a month for my mortgage. So that is a ton of money, really, when you think about it. And, when I look back at some of my old paychecks, I used to not even make that in a month, after taxes. So the fact that I'm doing that is a little bit scary when you think about it like that. But at the same time, because of the profits that I'm making and the fact that I'm selling something, I'm earning all of that money back from the sales that I'm making on my courses. So because of this, I was able to reach 5,000 subscribers. And this has been growing really fast now that I have ads coming through and just running every day. This month alone in January, I had over 400 new email subscribers come onto my list, and I essentially broke even on all of the people coming through, and they have now got this opportunity where they're going to go through and see those additional emails. Again, I've kind of stayed focused promoting one of my primary courses, the SEO Consulting Blueprint. This is a course I originally made 5 years ago, and I've just been improving it over time, adding new content to it and continuously promoting it to my audience. In terms of client work, I'm sure as you guys know, obviously I'm selling a course about how to get clients. I've continued working with clients offering SEO services, and I've been doing this for many years, but I will say it hasn't been something I've been as excited about as maybe I once was. Like that first time I got a client, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I was really pumped up. I was like so excited to go out there and get more and more clients. And ultimately, it's been one of those things where I've had clients sign up for as much as $4,000. And I guess for me, it just hasn't been as exciting as it once was. And it's really more for me, I guess, just like a profit and money thing. So I've really started to put a lot more time and thought into whether or not this is something I wanted to build up more, or if I wanted to go in a different direction with my business. But for now, it's basically a passive income stream that I have with the clients I've got right now. Through January, I did go out and close a couple of more clients, and I have a couple others that are sort of pending right now. And it's sort of been very easy for me because of the way that I set up a lot of my client acquisition strategies. So I've continued promoting this stuff because, well, I think I'm pretty good at it, and it is definitely a great way to make some money or really get out of a 9-to-5 job if that's something that you're still trying to do. What I would say is that you really have to think about for yourself, and for those of you listening, what is it that you have in mind for your own goals? When I kind of think back to what I really wanted out of entrepreneurship was that I was willing to put a lot of hard work and energy into different things, but I really didn't want to have to be like hooked to doing something indefinitely, right? And a lot of client work, depending on how you set things up, it can be very tedious and really drain all of your time. The way that I've been able to get around this is by simply outsourcing or working with really good vendors and partners. So for me right now, I'm bringing in probably about $4,000 or $5,000 a month from all my client efforts, and overall, I'm basically just communicating with these clients here once in a while. And I've got a lot of my vendors and stuff working on a lot of the different things for me. So it's very, very lucrative because of the time that I was able to free up with this and the amount of money that I'm making. On my YouTube channel, obviously here you guys right now looking at my YouTube channel, kind of drawing this circle of focus. And one of the things that I decided to do was basically start focusing on YouTube. And I've realized even over the last few months, I think since the holidays hit, I just have had this kind of slump. I've had a really hard time sticking with doing 2 videos a week. I'm hoping to kind of get back into that here for 2020, but I've had a few other wrenches kind of thrown into my my month, that of which I'm going to talk about here shortly. But one of the things that I did want to stick with is YouTube. I've definitely enjoyed my journey on YouTube. It's been a little bit slow to grow, but what I will say is that of some of the videos that I've done, I've had a few of them go a little bit semi-viral, and it's actually started earning me a whole lot of extra income from ad revenue on YouTube. In fact, just last month, I think just from the last 3 months alone, I've averaged anywhere from $600 upwards of $800 a month just from the ad revenue I've been making on YouTube. That doesn't include getting email subscribers and having them buy products, affiliate products, any of that stuff. It's literally just the ad revenue from YouTube. I've even had so many people go through, I made this video comparing like this chair I'm sitting into another chair I have here. I'll roll it over. I made a video literally comparing this gaming chair to this office chair, and it went super viral. I had like 40,000 views on the video, and I ended up getting something like over 30 people to go buy this chair through my affiliate link. And I've almost got enough money that I'm gonna be able to buy their highest end like desk from all the credits that they've given me. It's like a $600 desk that I'm literally gonna be able to order for free because of a single YouTube video that I made. So that's something that has been really encouraging to want to keep going with that. I also did another video on a exercise bike, and it ended up basically blowing up on this huge level. I was like really blown away. I ended up getting over 15 people to go and buy a $2,000 exercise bike through my link. The video has over 60,000 views, and I've now earned from that single video something like over $3,000 in ad revenue. So been pretty amazing. Of course, with YouTube, it's just been one of those things where a lot of my videos like this one, it may only get like 50 views, and I'm just like, and it doesn't really motivate me as much as doing something else. So I've really had to think about like, what is it that I want to do with YouTube, and what are the things that I want to keep focusing on. The next thing was mentorship, right? I ended up spending last year over $13,000 on mentorship, and this was mainly more about how can I sell more of my online courses and do more with that. And I started looking at different things like strategies such as what I learned from Andre Chaperone around the sphere of influence, building something out where I could, kind of captivate people as they go and look at my stuff. And I ended up basically jumping into a group mentorship program, another one-on-one mentorship program, and I've learned a ton of stuff. So I feel like I'm at a point where I don't necessarily need to go spending more money on like courses or programs or learning from people. I have so many resources at my disposal and so much information about how to do things that it's really just a matter of me kind of sitting down and picking something to really focus my energy on. I did initially go out and I kind of built like a phone sales funnel, which some of you, depending on where you're seeing this email or watching this video, maybe you've seen my emails or you've seen on my videos that I'll tell you to go check out an ebook, and in that case I will eventually pitch you on the idea of getting on the phone with me. And on that phone call I will sell a basically like a $2,000 mentorship program. And I was able to go out there and get like 3 sales for this with actually pretty minimal effort. It was actually pretty mind-blowing to me how easily I was able to get these 3 sales. But I found that with working some of the students, like, they're just having a really difficult time getting out there and doing this. And I don't think it's any fault to me. It's just that the digital agency game has become so competitive, and it's just extremely ruthless in terms of like getting started if you're just someone that's brand new, right? So a lot of people, I think, may or may not be ready for this. It's been a kind of a hit or miss thing, and even myself have been a little bit turned away from the whole model because of how many people are involved in it on a day-to-day basis. So that's kind of something I've been really thinking about, like, how do I restructure? What's something new that I could be doing? And I would definitely be open to any feedback or anything, maybe ideas that you guys would love to see from me if you're watching this video. But that's been a huge thing, is really figuring out like what's the next best action for selling my courses and getting more people into my programs, and really what direction do I kind of move in the new year. Another thing that threw like a big time sink into my year was I went and opened up a co-working space with a buddy of mine. I wasn't actually an investor in the space, I'll be upfront about that. I was initially going to come in and actually, basically be a percentage share, come in as like a partner on this business. But what ended up happening is I just got hit really hard with like taxes from 2018 and 2019. And the business has been kind of like one of those things that both even for me and for the person that I opened it up with is almost like on the back burner a little bit. Like, my partner runs a dedicated server hosting company, and that business makes him a lot of money, and he's very busy with it. So it's almost been difficult for both of us to really sit down and say like, hey, let's really market the hell out of this co-working space. And we've had some hit or miss results, but overall, I helped him with a lot of different things, like building desks, moving furniture, coming up with ideas, starting to run some ads and just doing different things. And I've been going in there at least intermittently and just helping him, and it's almost like I'm getting free space. It's somewhere that I could go during the day to actually get out of the house and maybe interact with some people or just be in a different environment than sitting at home in my own office. So that's kind of all the stuff that ended up happening there. In terms of like what went wrong in business, right? Probably the biggest things for me was just really a lack of motivation. And part of that goes in hand with, I ended up having 3 major home renovations done all throughout last year. In February, I decided to redo all of my kitchen floors, and this was like a $5,000 project. Of course, I was there like ripping up old tiles. I had my neighbor there, tearing stuff out, throwing stuff in dumpsters. So there would literally be scenarios where like for half of an entire month, I would just be like, screw it, I'm not gonna work. I'm gonna go like work on this home renovation project and get all this stuff done. And I ended up doing a bathroom remodel where I had one contractor come in to help me with. It took over 3 weeks to get done. It was a lot more than I anticipated. And I was helping with all the pieces of it, right? I like helped him take the bathtub and lift it upstairs and put it in place. And I was kind of there just watching as he knew what to do, but I was assisting with all these different things. So it was quite a huge project. And to top it all off, I even added onto these 2 huge projects by deciding to have a basement remodel done by turning an entire space in my basement into a bedroom. This ended up again being a similar thing where I was helping a lot, moving things, trashing a lot of stuff that needed to go, just so many different things that I had to move. And with a lot of this, I had contractors in and out really here most of the year. And when a lot of that stuff was going on, it made it very difficult for me to want to like go sit at the computer and just like really narrow my head in to like focus on something. So I ended up spending over $25,000 on home improvements to make my house really a better place to live, especially knowing that I have a child on the way in April, a little girl. We already came up with her name, it's Malia. And that was something that I knew, hey, I need to get all this stuff done like now before the child arrives, and we're not gonna be able to do it, right? So now my wife has a nice space in the office for, in the basement rather, for like an office, for a computer, all these different things. So that was probably the biggest thing, just not having the motivation. Sometimes I would create YouTube videos, not really get a lot of views. It's kind of depressing when you spend a lot of time, you pay someone to edit them, do all these different things. I didn't really create a whole lot of new services or new products like I've done in the past. I've done launches or new products, things like that. I didn't do anything like that. I spent a significant amount of money on mentorship thinking that that was going to be an answer to some of my problems, when in reality, I think in most cases I really had a lot of the information that I already needed, and that may have been a mistake, but at the same time there's definitely pieces or little things that I've picked up on that I think are really going to help me as I move into the coming years. And I think in reality it's just been kind of a lazy year for me, was really what it came down to. Like I said, in my personal life, I'm going to be a father. I'm really excited about that. We're expecting in April. Typically I'm pretty awkward around children, so I don't know how that's going to go. I already talked about the home renovations. But really a lot of this stuff just took up so much time, like, and so much money. Really, it was a lot of like little things that you would just never think of, and how much time really was required to do this stuff. So I can tell you, if you decide to do a home renovation project, make sure that like you're going to be available. One thing I could give anyone as advice would be to have a contractor actually physically give you a piece of paper explaining how and what they're going to be doing and how much time it's going to take, and have them sign that on a document. Because I ended up kind of going, I don't want to say like the cheap way, but I hired like a friend for the basement remodel, and he ended up not following through, and now he actually owes me some money because I had to go and hire somebody else to finish his work. So there's things like that that just really threw like a wrench into me getting anything really done, and was a little bit of a burden. Some other things that, you know, I said was really, I haven't been working out as much this past year. That was something I definitely dropped off on, and I think it's led to other problems like me having back pain or not feeling as clearly, being like just overall like a little bit more lazy in how I'm approaching things. So in 2020, I really wanted to put a lot more time and thought into like how I'm going to structure my days. Getting back into the gym, I just went and signed back up to the gym, and really just moving away from doing any more like home renovations. Thankfully now there's almost like nothing left for me to do in this house unless I decide to like change a paint color or something. Most everything is pretty much done. There's just like two maybe minor things I could think of. I need like a new roof on my garage, but it's like that's something I could pay someone and I'll still be in here working, and you know, they'll get it done. So overall, I got the hardest stuff out of the way, and thankfully that's been a really good outlook on this. Another unfortunate thing is I found out recently, really in the last few years, is that my father has come on with onset Alzheimer's and kind of dementia symptoms. Now, normally I've heard people say, you know, you shouldn't share like personal things when it comes to like YouTube and all this stuff. And, you know, I wanted to talk about this because it does really kind of play back into this whole income thing. And a big thing that I'm finding right now, and it's given me a lesson, and I think a lot of you guys should think about this, is that I'm now looking at homes for my family, right, to put my mother and father into so my dad can be properly taken care of. And the big thing that I've realized is that, you know, some of the way the finances and things were run and the way that my parents decided to save for retirement, it's almost put them in this binding position that they may or may not have quite enough money to survive for a long period of time living in this type of circumstance. So now I'm kind of going crazy running around looking at different opportunities of like what it would cost to go live in one of these places, right? And one of the places I looked at 5 minutes down the road from me, to have both my mother and father living there, it would cost out of pocket $8,000 a month. Now, as an entrepreneur, I still am not, you know, even in a position where I could like lend them enough money to make something like that happen. Luckily, they do have some good retirement income, and they've got some stuff stored away, but it's not like $1 million, right, that they could just live off of for many years to come. So this has been something that's been a little scary for me, and I really have to spend a lot of time over the next month or so looking at selling my parents' house, helping my sister move out. She's still living with them, kind of getting things just moving in a more positive direction for my family. And this is really putting me in a little bit of a setback position with my own business. So definitely, I guess where I would say to get some experience out of all this would be definitely start saving now, because when we get old, it's just not going to be fun if you don't have enough money to support yourself. If you yourself or a family member or whoever needs to be put into a home, because now I'm actually seeing the repercussions of that, and I think it could be a little bit scary going into it now, knowing that, hey, it's too late, right? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really confident about this year. It's just a matter of me kind of buckling down and really focusing some of my energy on things that are going to allow me to earn more income, continuously stay in a position where I can stay self-employed. I'm very excited about the fact that I've gotten a lot of these big renovations done around the home. And now that I know my daughter's coming into my life, I'm not going to have to worry about this stuff down the road. And I can really just live life, right? I'm going to be in a more comfortable environment. I've got like a nicer shower, a nicer kitchen, nicer space in the basement that like we can hang out in. All these things that just all added up together have really are going to make the day-to-day living experience a lot better. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, anything that I mentioned, definitely leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like this content. Throw me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.